What if I told you that the difference between people who consistently win and those who constantly struggle isn't talent, luck, or connections, but a specific mental operating system that can be installed in just 10 minutes a day? The most successful people throughout history, from Marcus Aurelius to modern billionaires, didn't succeed because they had better circumstances. They succeeded because they programmed their minds to process reality differently than everyone else. Here's what nobody talks about. Your current results are a perfect reflection of your current mental programming. If you're not where you want to be, it's not because the world is against you. It's because your mind is running outdated software that was designed for survival, not success. But here's the incredible part. You can completely reprogram this software in the time most people spend scrolling social media. Today, I'm going to show you how to develop what I call the winner's mind, the specific mental framework that separates champions from everyone else. This isn't positive thinking or motivational fluff. This is psychological engineering based on how elite performers actually think, backed by centuries of wisdom from Stoic philosophers who understood that your mind is either your greatest weapon or your most dangerous enemy. The foundation of the winner's mind starts with a concept that will change everything for you: reality ownership. Most people live in a constant state of mental victimhood, where they're always reacting to circumstances, other people's decisions, and external events. But winners understand something profound. They may not control what happens to them, but they absolutely control what they make things mean. Here's your first 10-minute daily practice. Every morning, before you check your phone or interact with another human being, sit quietly and ask yourself this question: what are 3 things I have complete control over today? Not things you influence, not things you hope will happen, things you have absolute, undeniable control over. Your effort level, your attitude, your response to whatever happens. This simple practice rewires your brain to focus on your power instead of your problems. The psychological impact of this is enormous. When you start each day by acknowledging your areas of control, you're literally training your nervous system to seek power instead of problems. Most people wake up and immediately start thinking about everything that might go wrong, everything they need to worry about, everything that's outside their control. But winners start by calibrating their minds to their areas of influence. It's like the difference between starting your day as a victim or starting your day as a strategist. The second element of the winner's mind is what I call outcome independence. This is perhaps the most counterintuitive concept, but it's absolutely critical. Winners care deeply about their performance, but remain emotionally detached from specific outcomes. They understand that attachment to results creates desperation, and desperation makes terrible decisions. When you need something too badly, you communicate weakness. When you're detached from needing it, you communicate power. Here's how to build this in 10 minutes a day. Choose one thing you're currently stressed about, a goal you're pursuing, a result you want, a person whose approval you're seeking. Now, spend 10 minutes mentally rehearsing yourself being completely okay if it doesn't happen. Not happy about it, not pretending you don't want it, but genuinely okay. Visualize yourself maintaining your confidence, your self-respect, and your forward momentum regardless of that specific outcome. This isn't giving up on your goals. This is freeing yourself to pursue them from a position of strength rather than desperation. When you're outcome independent, you make better decisions because you're not clouded by fear. You negotiate better because you're willing to walk away. You perform better because you're not paralyzed by the pressure of needing to succeed. Paradoxically, outcome independence makes you more likely to get the outcomes you want. The third component is adversity reframing. Winners have a completely different relationship with problems than ordinary people. Where most people see obstacles, winners see intelligence tests. Where most people see setbacks, winners see setup opportunities. Where most people see unfairness, winners see market inefficiencies they can exploit. This isn't delusional optimism. This is strategic perception. Every day for 10 minutes, practice what the Stoics called the discipline of perception. Take whatever is currently your biggest problem or frustration and force yourself to find 3 potential advantages hidden within it. Maybe that business rejection means you'll find a better opportunity. Maybe that relationship ending means you'll discover what you actually want in a partner. Maybe that financial setback means you'll learn money management skills that serve you for life. The key is not to convince yourself that bad things are actually good. The key is to train your brain to automatically search for advantage in every situation. This is how winners think in real time. When something goes wrong, their first mental reflex isn't, "Why me?" or "This isn't fair." Their first reflex is, "How can I use this?" This single shift in mental reflexes separates people who grow from adversity from people who are destroyed by it. The fourth element is future memory programming. Winners don't just set goals. They program their subconscious mind with detailed mental movies of their future success. But here's the sophisticated part. They don't just visualize the end result. They visualize themselves handling the challenges, setbacks, and obstacles they'll encounter along the way. They mentally rehearse staying calm under pressure, making good decisions when stressed, and maintaining their standards when it would be easier to quit. Your daily practice here is powerful. Spend 10 minutes creating what I call adversity visualization. Instead of just imagining yourself succeeding, imagine yourself encountering specific obstacles and handling them with grace, intelligence, and persistence. See yourself staying disciplined when motivation fades. See yourself bouncing back from failures faster than before. See yourself making the hard decisions that ordinary people avoid. This type of mental rehearsal does something incredible. It removes the shock factor from future challenges. When you've already mentally practiced handling difficulties, your nervous system doesn't spike into panic mode when they actually happen. You remain calm, resourceful, and strategic because your brain recognizes the situation as something you've already successfully navigated, even if only in your mind. The fifth component of the winner's mind is what I call strategic patience. This is the ability to delay gratification, not just for better outcomes, but for exponentially better outcomes. Winners understand the power of compound effects, that small advantages, sustained over time, create massive results that appear sudden to outsiders, but are actually inevitable to those who understand the process. Here's your daily practice. Every day, identify one small action you could take that would compound over time. Maybe it's reading 10 pages of an educational book. Maybe it's doing 50 push-ups. Maybe it's reaching out to one person in your network. Maybe it's putting $20 into an investment account. The key is consistency over intensity. Winners understand that showing up every day with moderate effort beats showing up occasionally with heroic effort. The psychological challenge here is that strategic patience requires you to act against your evolutionary programming. Your brain wants immediate rewards, instant feedback, and quick wins. But wealth, success, and mastery are built through compound effects that are invisible in the short term, but overwhelming in the long term. Training yourself to value consistency over intensity is like upgrading your mental operating system from human to superhuman. The sixth element is selective attention mastery. Winners understand that your attention is your most valuable resource, and they guard it more carefully than their money. They know that what you focus on literally becomes your reality, not in some mystical sense, but in a very practical sense. Your brain can only process a tiny fraction of available information, so whatever you consistently focus on becomes what you see, think about, and act upon. Your daily practice is attention auditing. For 10 minutes, review what you've been thinking about, consuming, and discussing. Is it moving you toward your goals or away from them? Is it making you stronger or weaker? Is it expanding your possibilities or limiting them? Then consciously choose what you'll focus on for the rest of the day. This isn't about positive thinking. This is about strategic thinking. Most people let their attention be hijacked by news, social media, gossip, and drama that has zero impact on their actual life outcomes. But winners are militant about protecting their mental real estate. They consume information that makes them smarter, stronger, or more capable. They think about problems they can actually solve. They discuss ideas that move their projects forward. This level of attention discipline is what creates the mental clarity that everyone else calls luck or intuition. The seventh and final element of the winner's mind is what I call systematic self-upgrading. Winners are never satisfied with their current level of capability, not because they're insecure, but because they're addicted to growth. They understand that in a world that's constantly changing, standing still is actually moving backwards. They're always working on becoming a more capable version of themselves. But here's the sophisticated part. They don't try to improve everything at once. They pick one specific area and focus on systematic improvement until it becomes automatic. Then they move to the next area. Maybe this month they're working on communication skills. Next month it's financial literacy. The month after that it's physical fitness. They understand that sustained focus on one area creates better results than scattered effort across multiple areas. Your daily practice is simple but powerful. Identify one specific skill or capability that would dramatically improve your results if you mastered it. Then spend 10 minutes each day deliberately practicing that skill. Not reading about it, not watching videos about it, not talking about it. Actually practicing it. This could be negotiation, public speaking, writing, coding, sales, or any other learnable skill that would give you an advantage. Here's what makes this so powerful. Most people spend years wishing they had certain capabilities but never spend time actually developing them. They want to be more confident but never practice confident behavior. They want to be better communicators but never study communication. They want to be wealthier but never study money. Winners close the gap between what they want to be capable of and what they actually practice every day. Now, here's where the magic happens. When you combine all 7 elements of the winner's mind into a daily 10-minute practice, something extraordinary occurs. You start operating from a completely different mental framework than most people. You see opportunities where others see problems. You stay calm when others panic. You persist when others quit. You make decisions based on long-term thinking when others are trapped in short-term reactions. This isn't about becoming a different person. This is about becoming the most powerful version of the person you already are. The winner's mind isn't a personality trait. It's a learnable skill set. Every single element can be developed through deliberate practice, and 10 minutes a day is enough to create noticeable changes within weeks and dramatic changes within months. The beautiful part is that once these mental patterns become automatic, they don't require conscious effort anymore. Outcome independence becomes your natural state. Adversity, reframing, becomes your automatic response. Strategic patience becomes your default setting. You're not forcing yourself to think like a winner. You just naturally process reality the way winners do. But here's what you need to understand. Your current mental programming didn't develop overnight, and it won't change overnight. The thoughts you think most often have carved neural pathways in your brain that feel natural and automatic. Changing those patterns requires consistent, deliberate practice. Most people try to change their thinking for a few days, don't see immediate results, and give up. But winners understand that mental reprogramming is like physical conditioning. The results are cumulative and compound over time. Your mind is either working for you or against you every moment of every day. There's no neutral. Every thought pattern either moves you toward your goals or away from them. Every mental habit either makes you stronger or weaker. Every internal conversation either builds your confidence or undermines it. The winner's mind gives you conscious control over these unconscious processes. The question isn't whether you have time for 10 minutes a day. The question is whether you can afford not to invest 10 minutes a day in upgrading the most important tool you'll ever own, your mind. Because while everyone else is hoping their circumstances will change, you'll be systematically changing the person who creates those circumstances. And that makes all the difference between winning and wondering what could have been.